going? Happy 4th of July. You're not going to get this on the 4th of July. You're probably going to get it way later, but it's the 4th of July as we're recording, and I hope everybody had a fun and safe one. You're listening to Modern Era Fitness Podcast with me, Caleb, and my good buddy.
And me, Mike Walsh.
Mike Walsh. How's it going, Mike?
Really good.
Good.
How about you?
Awesome.
I never know how to answer that.
Honestly.
Well, yeah, but it's usually going good.
Well, that's a good thing.
It's going well.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today, Caleb?
What's new with you? Anything new?
Working on some things with getting ready for this coming Saturday.
What's this coming Saturday?
You and I are training with your advanced students.
We scheduled that for like 3 weeks from now.
Really?
Yeah, we were going to do two podcasts.
Because I'm like ready.
And then we were going to do that.
I got
for
lots
like
of time.
3 weeks.
Okay, well, I'm ready.
Okay.
That's why I had you bring your toast.
I wondered.
Your toast in.
I wondered. Do you like my gun?
I don't.
Really?
Really.
That hurt surprisingly quite a bit.
I saw you just like, oh.
What's wrong with it?
I don't like the trigger. It's mushy. And it's got the softest, quietest, gentlest reset.
What's so bad about that?
Well, you want to be able to feel it pretty good. It's like not having a ridge.
Are we talking about guns?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. What else is new?
Nothing.
Really?
I don't like my day job. I want to do this full time. Well, this and the training.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer this question.
Any funny anecdotes or stories that happened at work or here?
No. Not off the top of my head. How are you? What's new? Anything new?
Yeah. I'm switching suppliers. That's cool.
Like your guy,
martial
wink,
arts
wink?
stuff, yeah.
Martial arts stuff. Yeah, that's good.
So, not that kind of wink, wink supplier. Yeah, I don't do that.
You don't... you have your own.
Yep.
Well, it's legal now, so...
Yeah. No, I am excited because the people I've been working with, which I will not name, have just screwed everything up all the time. We've gotten lots of free stuff out of it, but I'd rather just have the right thing the first time.
That's cool.
So this new company, though, is on their game, and I just got my first shipment from them, and it was super fast and everything. So
that's nice when that happens, when it's fast, it's right the first time, and it's what you need.
Assuming that things still go that way, I'll mention their name.
Right on.
It's not going to be any secret.
Yeah.
I think if people think hard enough about major martial arts suppliers in the country, they probably know who it is. Anyway, so that's kind of nice. I got a box full of weapons and mouth guards and
nice
MMA shorts and stuff.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Right on.
And what else? Oh, I got new tattoo on Saturday at the Polynesian Cultural Tattoo Convention Festival thing up in Tacoma.
And it looks awesome. He looks like Dwayne Johnson.
Minus the muscles.
Minus the freakish strength.
Yeah.
That isn't even real. I think Dwayne Johnson's just a robot.
Yeah. So that was cool. That was a painful 7 hours, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I got to see my friend and meet some new ones.
Is that beep going to be on the thing?
Yep.
Oh. Caleb got a text.
No, Caleb didn't, but the phone thought I asked it for some help.
Oh. What's the phone's name?
I think it's just, you say, "Hey, Galaxy."
Oh, that's stupid.
Hey, Galaxy.
Oh,
how's it going?
Think about it. Jeez.
I don't know how to love.
Oh, if I only had a brain. It's okay, Galaxy. Someday.
That's probably true.
Someday you'll get there. I got something that's new.
You, after 20 minutes of saying I can't think of anything?
Well, I couldn't think of anything. My mind's been on the topic that we're going to be talking about.
So what's new? Again.
It's kind of more on the business end.
Okay.
But I set up a a text to email kind of info follow-up deal so that people can text the word Northwest Forge to a number, and then...
Are you ready to announce that to the world? Like, can you tell everybody?
I am.
Right now?
Yeah.
On this podcast?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, everybody, you can do this.
Yeah,
Listen up.
You can text the word Northwest Forge, all one word, all uppercase, to the number 22828.
What happens? You get a nudie of Mike?
Just a big old pic. Check out my hog.
Sweet hog, bro.
Thanks.
My wife's worried now, though. And impressed.
If you want to know more about what we do for training at Northwest Forgery, if you're kind of interested but kind of on the fence, then text the word Northwest Forge to 22828, and we'll send you some info on what we do.
That's cool. That's exciting. So, how do you envision using that in the future?
It's really simple and straightforward. That's it.
Exactly.
Like, hey, if you're kind of interested but you kind of want to know more, you're kind of on the fence, you're like, I don't know.
So if somebody sees a sticker or a business card or something and they get your name and they text that, then they'll get info.
Yeah.
That's neat. So, well, that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And
for a bootstrapper like us, I think every little piece like that is just going to help people more.
For sure.
And that's what I'm going after. Like, hey, if you want to know more info, do this, and we'll give you more info on what we do. Because, I want people to know that are interested to know what we do.
Yeah. I like it. That's cool. So let's get started on our topic.
Yeah.
Because everything we've said so far is super exciting.
I know. So we're talking today.
Wait.
What?
You gotta try to segue into it naturally, like this. Watch this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sore after our workout this morning. Super sore.
I feel like we're on the stage at Enchanted Forest trying to have a smooth transition for the kids.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Oh.
So I'm so sore from our workout this morning.
Already?
No, but for the sake of the segue.
You're sore from yesterday's workout.
Yeah. I'm still recovering. What can I do to speed that up?
To speed up the process?
Or just have my body recover fully.
You're hurting real bad.
Yeah, my glutes are sore from squats.
Oh. Well, come sit on my lap. I think we need to segue into that better. So today we're talking about recovery and how to recover fully and quickly and efficiently.
Yeah.
So that you can train more, train harder, and just be more efficient with your time training, so that you're not plateauing, so that you're not wasting your time, so that you're not
injuring yourself,
being stagnant in your progress or injuring yourself. With that, let's talk about injuries.
Okay, like I pushed it too hard and I pulled something.
You pushed it too hard and you pulled something, and we're going to be reactive to those injuries.
What do you mean reactive?
Reactive, like it's already happened. Like,
okay.
Like you pulled something.
There are theoretically there are things you could have done to not do that, which maybe we'll get into in the next episode. So listen for that.
So if something already happened, like let's say you have your left quad is just abnormally tight or whatever, or your hamstring is just not quite recovering, or what have you, then we're going to apply the rule of rice.
Which is it?
So the acronym RICE stands for rest, icing, compression, and elevation.
Okay.
And that'll help to alleviate symptoms.
Okay. Rice.
Yes. So if you're...
What was the R again?
Rest.
Rest, icing, compression?
Compression.
Elevation. Okay. And it's funny that you picked the left quad and stuff, because that's exactly...
Where you're hurting?
Yeah, my issues after an intense leg day tends to show up, especially on my left piriformis, like IT band area.
Yeah.
Is just knotted up.
Yeah. That's too bad. So
Thanks, man.
we'll get into that. So right now, let's say like it's really injured. It's been 4 days and it's just
Oh
not,
yeah, we're talking injury, not
like
recovery.
something's strained, like a
Yeah.
little over the top. So rest it, meaning don't push it, don't stay off of it for a while.
Do you
Hey-
recommend no exercise or just stay off of that muscle group or whatever?
I recommend really light exercise.
Okay.
If your body's talking to you and saying, "Hey, we're a little off and we're not quite 100%," then listen to that and follow that. So staying injury free, rule number 1 is listen to your body. If something's talking to you, then just leave it alone, let it heal completely. That's the R, that's rest.
Using the rice.
So after that, there's ice. You can ice it or just put a cold pack on it. I like to do 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, and just call that good.
For how long,
I just do 2 sessions, so 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on, and done.
Okay.
That's an hour.
Okay.
And then there's compression, so you can wrap it. And something like the IT band is kind of hard to do,
Yeah.
but you can
You'd have to wrap your whole.
you have to wrap your leg. But what you can do is you can put like a extra padding under, like right over that where you want more pressure directly on that muscle group,
and
and then wrap it. That's what I like to do.
I wear my skinniest skinny jeans.
You can do that too.
Okay. See,
Just
they are good for something.
Yeah, and just put like a bunch of frozen like tater tots like right over it. The
Marble.
showing through your jeans. That's how tight they are. They're jeggings.
What?
Blech. And
Ice,
then
compression, elevation.
And then elevation. Keep it elevated.
Okay.
Try to elevate it above the heart. So don't hang upside down, but just get horizontal. Lay down on the couch.
Cool.
Yeah.
The gal I was taking yoga from, she suggested doing that every night.
Laying on the couch.
No, putting your feet up above your heart.
Yeah.
Because it's beneficial for circulation, even if you're not thinking about recovery or injury injury.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Injury prevention.
No, injury. Like it happened.
Mitigation. Oh, recovery.
Is it just recovery? I
Yeah.
guess?
Yeah. Yeah, that's that.
But even if you're not thinking about that, you should sit against a wall and have your legs elevated, or at least
Yes.
have them propped up above your heart if you're laying down or something like that. It's beneficial to your cardiovascular system.
Yes.
So
And actually, they're quote unquote they're starting to say that sitting is the new smoking.
yeah,
Yeah. So either, if you can, or at least try to dabble in it, try to either stand or sit with your legs under, like, crisscross applesauce. And like the way we're sitting right now, like on traditional chairs with our feet on the floor and our butts a little higher than that,
is not.
is not ideal.
No, it's not even natural.
No, it's not. Sure is cozy, though.
Yeah. So my office, I got a stand-up desk put in
Nice.
for that very reason, and my chair is a yoga ball. But I have a traditional chair too, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
That's mostly for looks. Okay, so that's injury recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Rice.
Race.
What about just normal soreness?
Recovery.
Yeah, yeah. So I can be ready to hit legs again when it's time. Or maybe if I'm doing one of those more specific workouts where I do front of the leg one day, back of the leg another, is that okay to do? If I'm still
Absolutely.
sore on the front, to work the back, even though it's part of the same muscle group?
It's not really part of the same muscle group.
But you get what
you're
I'm
talking about
saying.
legs, right?
Yeah, legs in general, but
Yeah.
if you split them up and you're...
I think if you split them up, if your quads are sore, then yeah, you can still
You can
do
still
some
do hamstrings.
Romanian deadlifts or work on the hamstrings or glutes or whatever,
Okay.
and try to stay away from those quads.
Okay.
If it's like super sore, then yeah, you might want to stay away from doing anything legs completely.
And what's a way that I can just help the recovery along? Or is it better to ask, what should I not be doing?
So we're going to back up a little bit. So we got the injury recovery down like, with the rice and the rest icing, compression, and elevation. So now we're going to talk about how to not get injured and what to do that'll make you perform better and perform injury-free. So number one is eating enough and eating right and eating the right amounts of the right things.
Why does that matter?
So if you're like an example that I see a lot is protein intake and people just not consuming enough protein, especially when they come in here for boot camp and they drive themselves into the ground, and they work really hard, and they do really well for every class. And they're working out in the right increments, doing the right things for training, but then they're not getting enough protein intake.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're hammering these muscles really hard, and this protein, it acts as the building blocks, and it helps to recover and stuff. So when they're not getting that, they're not recovering very fast or even completely.
Mm.
And then they come in a couple days later, and they hit everything again really hard. So they're recovering just as fast as they're hitting everything.
Mm. Or maybe not even.
Yeah, maybe not even. So,
and it seems like that sets you up for injury.
It does. Or
like not only ineffective
right
muscle recovery and growth, but also because thinking back to when I've done exactly what you're talking about, I can feel my muscles get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And I just would fear, I've heard horror stories about people's biceps snapping and like rolling up like a curtain, like a
curtain, like an old timey overhead projector thing.
Yeah,
that was really good sound.
Well,
oh man, can you do that again?
That actually sounded.
The lesson is over.
So, what would you tell those people?
I'd say
boot camp people.
Well, it kind of comes down to geeking out on nutrition. If you're working out really, really hard 3 days a week, and you're, let's say, a bicyclist, and you're really, really active, then you need a protein intake that's right for you.
Mm.
So if you're really active and you have, let's say you're biking, 50 miles a week, and you're doing our boot camps, then you need at least 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight.
How do you know that? I mean, how do you know if it should be 0.8 or higher or lower?
How do I know?
Yeah.
I
know
lots
that's
of
what
reading
you do.
and experience.
I know that's what you do. I mean, how does somebody calculate that? Don't you have you wrote a blog and you had a link to some website, some fantastic website that tells you how much stuff you need?
Eat to Perform, I believe. eat2perform.com or .org. We'll have it in the show notes.
Yeah, and it helps you figure out.
There's a little calculator that's really easy to do.
It calculates it based off of your activity level.
Well, based on a lot of
things.
Based on a lot of things.
Yeah.
The main factors that contribute to how much protein you need.
Yeah.
So that's protein. So getting enough protein is going to help you a shit ton when it comes to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people don't eat enough protein because they want to train hard, and that's the thing that they see people doing. And they forget that, you need the building blocks, and the protein acts as your building blocks, and it helps you recover.
Yeah.
So without that, you're just driving yourself into the ground.
Yeah. And I feel like if you make sure you're getting protein before and after workouts and all that stuff, it also sets you up for better nutrition overall, because I feel like I see people, and I know people that will starve themselves before a workout because they think they're going to
burn
lose
fat.
weight. Yeah. When really you're hurting yourself because you're not going to...
You're hurting your system, and you're going for a goal without understanding the system. You got to make sure your system is working right to get that goal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of taking a systems approach to hit a goal in the long run, which is kind of complex, actually.
Yeah. Basically, it just boils down to fuel for the activity.
Bingo.
Not don't fuel.
Yeah. Don't not eat.
Yeah. That makes sense, right?
Yeah. Okay, everybody, you've been listening to me.
Well, good. Okay, so protein. What else? Do I need an ice if I'm just sore?
Like regularly?
Yeah.
No, you don't need to. Actually, the body has a natural response to whatever you put it through.
Mm-hmm.
So if you work out and there's inflammation, that's your body kind of taking care of itself.
Okay.
And so you don't want to suppress that inflammation.
Mm.
So you can inflammation gets out of control. You can help to kind of cut it down a little bit with the icing and the compression. But like the resting and the elevation, those parts are letting the body do its thing.
And you could do those even if you're not injured.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And those are required. Like if you don't rest, you're not going to recover.
Yeah. And I feel like going back to nutrition a little bit on this same subject, depending on what you're putting into your body will aid in inflammation suppression.
Yes.
Or not. I shouldn't say suppression because, like you said, it's the body's natural response to things. But
right, there's anti-inflammatories.
Yeah, and there's natural foods that you can eat to.
Yams are a good one.
And yeah, deep, dark, leafy greens.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
Yep. I bet you if you talk to Alyssa about wellness, she'd probably have a good I don't know, list of foods that you could eat.
Look lively.
Yeah. Anti-inflammatory food ideas for you.
Aboundwellness.com.
Yeah. Aboundwellness.com.
Check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, and I'm not trying to harp on the I am trying to harp on the vegetarian thing. I feel like when I switched my diet over to a vegetarian diet that also was complete, my inflammation and my back used to be sore all the time and stuff.
Oh man,
it's not really an issue anymore. Now it's muscle stuff, like recovery from working out.
Well, yeah, because we're being so deliberate about hitting muscle groups, and we're like, okay, we're going to stress the crap out of this muscle group, and for a controlled change.
Yeah,
and then actively rest it, give it the proper nutrients, and recover and get stronger.
Yeah, and the diet will alleviate some of the downtime, I feel like.
Absolutely. Well, all we're doing is we are eliciting a response from the body and letting the body do what the body does, which is adapt, recover, and that's it.
We are amazing creatures.
Especially with all them tattoos.
So we got still kind of on the food thing, but we don't need to necessarily ice and stuff.
Not necessarily. So we're thinking long term now because we moved on from the injury recovery, with the rest, ice, compression, elevation, acronym RICE. And now we're talking about making our time efficient and doing the best we can.
Supporting your body so it can work hard.
Yes. So we want to perform better, so we're going to make sure we're getting enough protein for what we're doing. Go to eattoperform.com, I believe.
And anti-inflammatory diet is beneficial.
Diet. Yep.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
And maybe you were going to get to this. And I know I was talking to you about it earlier. It's kind of because I just learned about it too. And you probably already know it. But magnesium, getting a healthy amount of magnesium, I think it was
absolutely
420 milligrams per day is the recommended daily amount. And that's probably for a non-active person. But I feel like even if you take a supplement that has magnesium in it, it's not anywhere near the recommended amount. But after taking it for a week, it's helped me out a ton.
Yeah.
I was mentioning this to a friend. My plumbing is suffering from it because it affects your digestion.
Oh, your plumbing. That's why I looked up. I was like, what kind of plumbing?
Yeah. Like our house.
Oh.
So, I mean, my plumbing and also my plumbing.
Oh, you're both plumbings.
Yeah.
You're Mario and you're Luigi.
What? But it really has. And I think Alyssa was the one that recommended it. And she said something about it. It assists in the clearing of lactic acid.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that you feel when your muscles are burning. And if you don't clear that out of your system, that's what kind of calcifies into knots in the muscle, and you need to roll those out and massage those out, which is much more painful to deal with after the fact. So if you take magnesium, it could help prevent that.
Yeah, or alleviate it, or just help the body do what it naturally does.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that leads me to my other 2 points that are coming up. Take a daily multivitamin. A lot of daily multivitamins are crap. So find one that has definitely a higher amount of vitamin D, especially if you're here in the Northwest.
Yeah.
Like way higher. Like 5,000.
I take specifically I take a separate.
Yeah, me too.
Vitamin D only.
And a...
Wait, 5,000
IUs?
Units?
Yeah, units. And that's not for everybody. Like, obviously...
if you're
I'm not a doctor
and
we aren't registered dietitians, but take a daily multivitamin.
Yeah.
Because it really, really can't hurt. Well, it might hurt you if you choke on it and die. Whatever.
Funny, not so funny story. Did I mention this before? I think I did. I don't think it made it in, though. To have an idea how seriously we take supplements in our house, I had to perform the Heimlich maneuver on my wife
Classic.
from her supplement intake. It's out of hand in our house, but I feel like if we weren't on top of that, we would not be living happy and healthy lives.
I bet it was branched chain amino acids, wasn't it?
Oh, probably. Those are the biggest pills and the driest to choke down.
Hippo pills.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, scary. What a time to be alive.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you know the Heimlich.
Yeah, well, I'm certified.
Certified Heimlich?
Yep.
Cool.
My middle name is Heimlich. I inherited the Heimlich fortune. Multivitamins.
Yeah, multivitamins. Take them, especially if you're doing boot camp and working really hard. You're probably gonna need those little boosts.
Is there any other vitamins we need to make sure are in it that would help promote workouts or recoveries or
honestly
gains?
Vitamin C is a big one for recovery and antioxidants because you do create quite a bit of toxins when you work out.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I know some Tai Chi drills to help get rid of those toxins. Maybe I'll put a video on YouTube or something of it.
You should.
Because of those toxins, you got to drink lots of water.
Yes, drink lots of water. That'll help you clear so much, and that'll actually help you recover. I should have added that in.
Yeah.
Can we edit that into? Make sure you drink water too.
Yeah.
So drinking lots of water is going to help you perform well. It's going to help you recover, and it's right up there with rest. If you rest and drink a lot of water, there's not a lot you can't recover from.
Except for maybe a gunshot to the face.
Maybe that, unless it's like a BB gun or a Nerf gun or a super soaker filled with like vodka. Happy 4th, everybody.
You thinking about senior frogs again, Mike?
Yes.
Spring break.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
So the vitamins, just make sure you get a full plethora of those vitamins.
Like a broad spectrum.
Yep, A through Z.
I feel like vitamin B has been a big deal.
Yep, B3, B6, B12.
Yeah, a B complex. It's funny, they call it a stress complex because it supports your system that deals with stress.
Yeah.
Not because it
stresses
produces,
you out.
Yeah. There was a B complex I was taking called Mega Stress, and I was thinking,
love it.
Do I want this? Is this good?
You don't have to work out if you take this.
Yeah, but it's supposed to help your adrenals and all those things that fire up when you're under duress.
Well, they're still finding out that a lot of
and energy. It gives you energy.
Yeah. Well, it helps you turn food into energy.
Oh.
Yeah. It helps you do stuff with food. Right?
I don't know.
We're going to look like idiots. I think that's why we have most of our listeners, because they're like, oh, these guys are idiots. We know more than they do.
They're cute, but...
They look good.
Look good. Okay, multivitamins. Get them.
So
I think you said there was one more point. So we got...
Rolling out consistently. And that kind of ties into the activity-specific...
Like a directed recovery.
Training-specific activities that you can do that will greatly improve your performance and greatly reduce your chances of injury is warming up, doing an active warm-up. A good example of that would be using an elliptical machine for 5 minutes or, just jumping jacks and high knees and jogging in place and just kind of getting the heart rate up and the blood flowing literally and just try to get the blood flowing and things moving and warmed up. It's literally that simple.
And I always hear people argue about when you're supposed to stretch. And my recommendation, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we agree, maybe we disagree on this.
Let's argue.
Okay. What if we agree? So my thing is get the muscles warm and moving before you stretch.
Yes.
You can get more elasticity and more flexibility and better circulation if you stretch once they're warm instead of stretching before you run or stretch.
Absolutely.
That being said, I think stretching, if you can only stretch before. But if you want optimum results,
well, if you're going for optimal results and optimum performance, I think you definitely want to have an optimal warm up and an optimal activity surrounding your performance.
Yeah.
You don't just go in and not warm up.
Yeah.
You're So you're not going to want to come in and put 200 pounds on the bar and start heaving and pulling and pushing and stuff, because then you're gonna pop something, or you're gonna break something. So make sure you warm up. So warming up, doing the thing, and then afterwards, doing some stretching, some rolling out, and there's no. If you stay fixed to a certain routine for stretching, then you're gonna miss something.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, like in our martial arts thing, we have a pretty regular routine that we do for warm-up with stretches and stuff, but I try to vary some of the stretches, like add a couple extra leg ones in, especially if I know that we're going to be doing leg stuff. I try to vary up that particular muscle group, you know?
Yeah. So you like stretching before?
So we do a little breathing and movement exercise right off the bat to get the muscles moving and warm, and then we start our stretching routine, and then we get into class. If I had the time, I would want to do stretching at the end as well.
Cool.
I just think it's most effective, you know,
mm-hmm.
to double up like that before and after the activity.
Yeah. I like to warm up and then do a couple light sets and just focus on full range of motion and getting a good stretch doing the exercise I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do. And then upping the intensity and doing your working sets and your
I
circuit and all that.
I see.
And then at the end, stretching and rolling out and breathing deep, kicking ass.
Yeah.
So that's really it as far as...
But talk more about rolling out, because you mentioned that, and then we got into stretching. What is rolling out, and why is it beneficial?
Oh, it's a form of myofascial release. So it just helps.
What is the myofascial tissue? I know what it is, but
if you take a big steak and you pull it, and you just pull it apart, and you see the white stuff in there, like the kind of holding it together, that's fascia. So it's kind of like the masha and the fascia. Hello, masha. Hello, fascia. So
give it in an example that a vegetarian would understand.
Oh, so your training partner
takes a steak
who eats meat. So what you're doing is you're simulating a massage, a muscular massage, and
as opposed to
I don't know,
a bone massage,
a bone massage, or an eyeball massage, organ massage.
Anyway,
emotional massage.
So it simulates a massage.
It simulates a massage for myofascial release, because what happens over time, especially for people that don't stretch or they don't have an exercise routine at all, they sit at their desk, they
have that lactic acid buildup.
They have the lactic acid buildup. So all that fascia gets just pounded every day, and there's no movement, and it loses a lot of its elasticity.
Mm-hmm.
So myofascial release takes that and kind of works it out so that you create that movement, or you get that movement and you keep that elasticity.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps the muscles kind of glide over each other.
Mm.
So when I take my arm and I do this, there's a lot of fascia in there just gliding over the muscles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it just it improves range of motion greatly. Myofascial release helps muscle groups talk to each other a little more efficiently. So you can actually throw that into your warm-up routine, and you'll actually see a benefit in performance.
Interesting.
And that's been proven. So that goes for strength, that goes for power, speed. If you roll out, it's gonna improve your performance.
I feel like there are lots of different types of foam rollers out there too. Do you recommend one that's really hard and aggressive, or do you recommend
it
the ones
depends
with
on
all the bumps and nodes and stuff?
It depends on what you're doing and your experience level and your and how long you've been rolling out. So if you just start, let's say, like for me, I've been training for over a decade now. And they call that a decade. You know what they call that, don't you? So I've been training for over 10 years, and I just started foam rolling a couple years ago, or a few years ago. And I got a really soft one, and it felt like fire. And it felt like fire for a while. And then, sure enough, after a while, it wasn't too bad. And you can use something gradually harder and harder until you're up to using just like a rolling pin.
Oof.
Yeah. And they make ones that have pretty aggressive knobs on them. So it looks like a
tractor.
Like a tractor wheel, yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
I'm kind of sick. I like the harder ones
me too.
because but I also like hard massage too, like
Yeah.
aggressive
Yeah.
stuff. And what I recommend to people is it may hurt when you first start, but if you just stick with it for a week or 2 weeks, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt because your body is starting to get the benefit out of it.
Yeah, it's going to start loosening up, and
Yeah.
you're going to notice that you're going to have a greater range of motion. You'll be more flexible.
And your recovery will go down.
Yes, it helps you recover.
Good.
And it doesn't take that long. So literally, if you're just starting out, 2 minutes a day, and that's it. And same thing with stretching. If you have a fixed routine, that's great, but you're going to be missing some things.
Yeah.
So I like to do just something a little bit different every day and just try to stay consistent with it. And so we have one at my home that Mikayla and I share, and we'll roll out sometimes and just take a couple minutes and just try to do it daily.
Cool.
Yeah. So warming up, stretching, rolling out, it doesn't take a lot, but that's like 90% of injury prevention.
Okay.
And that's going to help you perform better too.
And then what will help you recover and just support you all around is proper nutrition.
Big time.
All around, but also especially before and after workouts, getting the right protein amount. And then if you do have an injury, follow the RICE method. Rest, ice, compression, elevation.
Bingo.
Awesome.
Yep. And I would say the protein isn't just before and after training. Like, yeah, those are good windows to make sure you're fueled right and recovering right. But proper nutrition is day in, day out. Like if your diet is off on Monday and you have boot camp on Tuesday, then you're going to perform just a little bit differently.
Yeah. I've noticed that. And sleep too.
Big time. Rest.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things, well, all of these things are just addressing how the body performs. And it's just helping the body do what it does best.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes down to diet, rest.
The funny thing is, as I hear you say this, it sounds like if you're to take an objective view, it's simple. It's just about letting the whole health picture. You know what I mean?
Do its thing.
Yeah. If you eat right, that's gonna and work out properly, like with the warm up and the stretch. That's pretty much it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like if you don't warm up, if you don't stretch,
it's not rocket science
and whatnot. It's like taking your car to the racetrack.
Oh, we've used that analogy before.
I know, but it's so good. And just starting it, not warming it up, and just flooring it.
Yeah. And not putting oil in it.
Yeah. And you can get away with that for a little bit, but it's going to end poorly.
Yeah. Well, good. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Good chatting.
Yeah.
If you got any questions or you got anything we want to address or talk about, let us know. You can email us at modernerafitnesspodcast@gmail.com. Hee hee. All spelled out. All spelled out.
Yeah, or if you want to hit us up on social media, we have a Facebook page, also Instagram and Twitter at MEF Podcast.
Not all spelled out.
Well, like we just said it.
Like we just said it.
Yeah. But other than that,
mango extra pork belly.
You forgot the F.
Oh. Mango
extra flat.
Extra funky. Funky. Not funky.
All right, guys.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it really has. And remember, live in a good place.
Keep your mind deep.
And
work when it's time. Check, check. Mic check 1. Mike on the radio. Hey, hey.